this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcements for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Miss Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program on this blessed Mother's Day. The family of Mrs. Fallon Latrice Graham of Warner Robins, Georgia. The family of retired City of Cordele Police Captain Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of United States Air Force veteran Mr. Willie James Barrett, Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of the infant Susie Marie Cross of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Edward Charles Curry of Oakfield, Georgia. The family of Miss Dora Jean Taylor of Cordele, Georgia. The family of United States Marine Corps veteran Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman of Ashburn, Georgia. Would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Mrs. Fallon Latrice Graham, age 39, at 121 Willis Creek Drive, Warner Robins, Georgia, died Friday, May 1st, at a residence in Warner Robins, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Fallon Latrice Graham, age 39, was held Thursday, May 8th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Bishop Robert Bentley officiated, and her beloved father, the Reverend Stanley Walker Sr., delivered the eulogy. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and caring children, Mr. Antonio A. Mincy Jr. and Miss Journey N. Mincy, both of Warner Robins, Georgia. Her loving and devoted father, the Reverend Stanley Walker Sr. and his wife, Mrs. Cherie Walker of Macon, Georgia. Her loving and caring siblings, Mr. Carl Redding, Mr. Stevie Sanders Jr. and his wife, Mrs. Santa Sanders, Miss Kayla Addy, all of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Kelvin Collins, Miss Tanisha Pope, Miss Tiana Walker, Mr. Stanley Walker Jr. and his wife, Mrs. Marilyn Walker, and Miss Latoya Hughes and her husband, Mr. Jerome Hughes, her beloved aunts and uncles, Mrs. Angela Sanders of Cordele, Georgia, Mrs. Deborah Malone and her husband, Sadara Malone of Pensacola, Florida, Mr. Ricky Graham and his wife, Mrs. Courtney Graham of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Johnny Graham and his wife, Mrs. Stephanie Graham of Warner Robins, Georgia, Miss Carolyn Hall of Charlotte, North Carolina, Miss Evelyn Harvey, Mr. Anthony Graham, Mrs. Patricia Patrick and her husband, Mr. Tony Patrick, and Mr. Calvin Walker and his wife, Mrs. Pauline Walker, Miss Tyra Harper, Miss Sandy Dawson, and Miss Tammy Minter, all of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Frank Walker and his wife, Mrs. Deborah Walker of Araby, Georgia. A host of beloved cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Fallon Latrice Graham, age 39, of 121 Willis Creek Drive, Warner Robins, Georgia. Retired City of Cordele Police Captain, Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr., age 70, 411 West 7th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, May 1st, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for retired City of Cordele Police Captain Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr., age 70, was held Friday, May 9th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His pastor, Dr. Dwayne Daniels, pastor of the Beulah Land Baptist Church, officiated. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Alice L. Hill of Cordele, Georgia, his loving and devoted children, Mr. Sammy Hill and his spouse, Mrs. Jennifer Hill of Fredericksburg, Virginia, Mr. Jamal Hill of Telfair, Georgia, Miss Natalie McLeod and her spouse, Miss Alexis McLeod, and Miss Kavista Brinson and her husband, Mr. Will Brinston, all of Warner Robins, Georgia. 10 beloved grandchildren, his loving and caring sisters, Miss Annie Daniel and Miss Diane Ford, both of Cordele, Georgia. His sisters-in-law, Mrs. Ruby Coleman and Miss Catherine Reese of Cordele, Georgia. His brothers-in-law, Mr. Ozzie Smith and his wife, Mrs. Mardell Smith of Miami, Florida, and Mr. Roosevelt Smith of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, to include Miss Thelma Graham and Miss Carol Johnson, a host of cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Retired City of Cordele Police Captain Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr., age 70, 411 West 7th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. United States Air Force veteran Mr. Willie James Barrett Jr., age 56, 172 Lake Park Drive, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, May 1st in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Air Force veteran Mr. Willie James Barrett Jr., age 56, was held Friday, May 9th in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His beloved cousin, the Reverend Lorinda Ray, pastor of the Beautiful Zion Baptist Church, officiated. The burial with military honors followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Miss Janonica Barrett and Mr. Quad Barrett, both of Albany, Georgia. His beloved and devoted father, Stuart Willie James Barrett Sr. of Cordele, Georgia. A beloved sister, Mrs. Angela Alexis, and her husband, Mr. Gard Alexis of Winter Haven, Florida. His beloved brothers, Mr. Eric Barrett and his wife, Mrs. Kim Barrett of Americus, Georgia, and Mr. Deodric Barrett and his wife, Mrs. Chandrell Barrett of Locust Grove, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, his aunts, uncles, many cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. United States Air Force veteran, Mr. Willie James Barrett, age 56, 172 Lake Park Drive, Cordele, Georgia. The infant Susie Marie Crawls of 305 West 24th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Wednesday, April 30th at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The memorial service for the infant Susan Marie Cross was held Saturday, May 10th in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her living parents, Ms. Jordan Z. Cross of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Tarana M. Jordan Sr. of Vienna, Georgia, her little sister, little Toriana Marie Jordan of Cordele, Georgia, her brother, Master Caden Amar Cross, and Master Torian Malik Jordan, both of Cordele, Georgia. Her grandparents, Miss Deidre M. Cross of Douglasville, Georgia, and Miss Lynette Manning of Vienna, Georgia. Her aunts and uncles, Mr. Xavier Sanders of Birmingham, Alabama, Mr. Zavon Cross of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Braylon Cross and Mr. Cedric Johnson, both of Douglasville, Georgia, Miss Adaja Williams and Mr. Quantavious Cross, both of Warner Robins, Georgia. A host of other relatives survived. Infant Susan Marie Cross of 305 West 24th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. Miss Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, of 609 East 4th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, April 19th at the Emory St. Joseph Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, was held Saturday, May 10th in the sanctuary of the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Cordele, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Greg Williams, officiated. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her living sister, Ms. Lona Mae Taylor of Fayetteville, Georgia, her living relatives, the Rogers, the Johnson, and Taylor families survived. Ms. Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, of 609 East 4th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Edward Charles Curry, age 67, of 319 Railroad Street, Oakfield, Georgia, died Thursday, May 1st at Pruitt Health Sylvester in Sylvester, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Edward Charles Curry, age 67, was held Saturday, May 10th, in the sanctuary of the Zion Grove Baptist Church in Oakfield, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Tiller Sims, delivered the eulogy. The Reverend Donnie R. Hall Sr. officiated. The burial followed at the Mount Zion Cemetery in Oakfield, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Mr. Desmond Hope of Sylvester, Georgia, Miss Sharita Brown of Cordele, Georgia, and Miss Adrian Hope of Sylvester, Georgia. 7 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandson, his beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Dorothy Bird and her husband, Mr. Buddy Bird of Oakfield, Georgia, Mrs. Gwendolyn Hoskins of Leesburg, Georgia, Mrs. Gloria Gant and her husband, the Reverend Eddie Gant of Albany, Georgia, and Miss Cassandra Evans and her husband, Mr. Broderick Evans of Sylvester, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Ricky Curry of Oakfield, Georgia, Mr. Nathaniel Curry and his wife, Mrs. Audrey Curry of Warwick, Georgia, Mr. Wayne Curry and his wife, Mrs. Michelle Curry, and Mr. Michael Curry of Oakfield, Georgia, Mr. Jerome Curry and his wife, Mrs. Kim Curry of Leesburg, Georgia, his aunts and uncle, Deacon Charles Will Morris, and Mother Ora Lee Morris, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Mr. Edward Charles Curry, age 67, of 319 Railroad Street, Oakfield, Georgia. United States Marine Corps veteran, Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman, age 60, of 715 Story Street, Ashburn, Georgia, died Saturday, May 3rd at the 10th Regional Hospital in Tifton, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Marine Corps veteran Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman, age 60, was held Saturday, May 10th in the sanctuary of the Greater St. Luke Baptist Church in Ashburn, Georgia, the Reverend Samuel Gaines, pastor. His pastor, the Reverend Carl Mons Jr., pastor of the New Hope Baptist Church of Sibley, Georgia, officiated. The burial followed at the Westview Memorial Garden in Ashburn, Georgia. Survivors include his loving wife, Mrs. Deandra Hillman of Ashburn, Georgia, his beloved children, Mr. Kevin Hillman and his wife, Mrs. Pittman Hillman of Grayston, Georgia, Mrs. Audrey Hillman of Ashburn, Georgia, and Mrs. Jasmine Hyde, her husband, Mr. Jamie Hyde of Tifton, Georgia. 6 beloved grandchildren, his loving and devoted sisters, Miss Rachel Whitsett of Ashburn, Georgia, Miss Vonda Burks and her husband, Mr. Willie Burks of Albany, Georgia, Mrs. Angie Watkins and her husband, Mr. David Watkins of Denver, Colorado, and Mrs. Maxine Romer and her husband, Mr. Ron Romer of Miami, Florida. His beloved brothers, Mr. Melvin Whitsett and his wife, Mrs. Linda Whitsett of Tifton, Georgia, and Mr. Tom Whitsett Jr. of Ashburn, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. United States Marine Corps veteran, Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman, age 60, of 715 Story Street, Ashburn, Georgia. Again, the family of Mrs. Fallon Latrice Graham of Warner Robins, Georgia. The family of retired City of Cordele Police Captain Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of United States Air Force veteran Mr. Willie James Barrett Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of the infant Susie Marie Cross of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Edward Charles Curry of Oakfield, Georgia. The family of Miss Dora Jean Taylor of Cordele, Georgia. The family of United States Marine Corps veteran Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman of Ashburn, Georgia would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams Cordele and Diana were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Stuart Charles Ray Jr., age 75, of 2116 Doris Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Tuesday, May 6th at the Cordele Health and Rehabilitation Center in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Bertha Daraso Ray, his loving and devoted children, Mrs. Angela Buckholtz and her husband, Mr. Dennis Buckholtz of Pinehurst, Georgia. Mr. Bobby Ray and his wife, Mrs. Tamika Ray of Cordele, Georgia. Missionary Anquaria Coney of Vero Beach, Florida. And Miss LaShonda Coley of Perry, Georgia. 11 beloved grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, 5 beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Josephine Knight and Mrs. Nelson Singleton, both of Palm Bay, Florida, Mrs. Betty Brown of Jacksonville, Florida, Mrs. Marilyn Hopper of Cordele, Georgia, and Dr. Jennifer Ray of Savannah, Georgia. His beloved and devoted brothers, the Reverend Lorinda Ray and his fiancee, Mrs. Fanny Pollock of Cordele, Georgia, and Deacon Ronnie Ray and his wife, Minister Cheryl Ray of Cordele, Georgia. A host of devoted nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends, to include Stuart Willie James Barrett Sr. of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Leonard Ray of Warwick, Georgia. Survived Stuart Charles Ray Jr., age 75, of 2116 Doris Street, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Stuart Charles Ray Jr., age 75, will be held Monday, May 12th at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Davis Chapel CME Church in Araby, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Arnell Welburn, will officiate. The eulogy will be delivered by his beloved brother, the Reverend Norenda Ray, pastor of the Beautiful Zion Baptist Church in Cordele, Georgia. The burial will follow at the Little Rock Baptist Church Cemetery in Araby, Georgia. The public visitation will be today, Mother's Day, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mother Gloria Rogers Map, age 88, of 902 Blackshear Road, Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, May 9th at the Chris Regional Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Mr. Martin Ricardo Mapp and his wife, Mrs. Jeannie Mapp of McDonald, Georgia, Mr. Carlos A. Mapp of Land O'Lakes, Florida, 7 beloved grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, her loving and devoted sisters, Mrs. Jewel Scott of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Mrs. Mary Rogers Adams and her husband, Mr. Jerome Adams of Cordele, Georgia. Her beloved brothers, Deacon Leroy Rogers, Deacon Jesse Rogers and his wife, Mrs. Helen Rogers, and Mr. Donald Rogers and his wife, Mrs. Gladys Rogers, all of Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Charles Rogers of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mother Gloria Rogers Mapp, age 88, of 902 Blackshear Road, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Gloria Rogers Mapp, age 88, will be held Saturday, May 17th, graveside at the Bethel Cemetery at 10 a.m. in Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Carlos Vermont Hicks, age 44, of Woodward Apartments, Vienna, Georgia, died Thursday, May 8, at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital in Tallahassee, Florida. Survivors include his loving and devoted daughter, Miss Karma Hicks of Vienna, Georgia, his beloved and caring father, Mr. Charlie B. Hicks of Vienna, Georgia. His beloved and caring sibling, Mr. Eddie Hicks, and his wife, Mrs. Stacy Hicks of Vienna, Georgia. Mr. Willie Hicks and his wife, Mrs. Tasha Hicks of Leeds, Alabama. Mrs. Rosa Lean Davis of Henderson, Georgia. Dr. Cynthia Hicks Johnson of Kathleen, Georgia. Miss Lakeisha Hicks of Hawkinsville, Georgia. Miss Laodicea Brown and her husband, Mr. Walter Brown, and Minister Latina Hill and her husband, the Reverend W. James Hill of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Carlos Bremont Hicks, age 44, of Whitwood Apartments, Vienna, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Carlos Bremont Hicks, age 44, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangement. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind each of you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also, whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. A prayer for Mother. Let every moment of every day bring upon her with the dazzle of utter newness, and let her exalt it in everything that she does and everything that she says. Let wonder rule the sky more lovely than she's ever seen, the birds that come by the hundred to her feeder. Please let her never ever forget that she is loved. May she forget that those things that have come to cause harm, but may she always know that she is the smile within our hearts. Let there be insight in the one page that over and over for days she may read for the first time, and may she never go beyond the measure of knowing that she is loved. Let the living past be vibrant in her dreams each and every night. May those things that she cherished forever be in her heart and give her insight. Let her eyes open in the morning, not to the despair of the lost at sea, but may she always know that she has a place in the hearts of those to be. May those of us who are sharing the loss of those who no longer have a living mother, may we know that the memory of our life and her heart will forever be with us. May the joy that was imparted in her days of living carry us forward as we go forth in our own lives. And may mothers everywhere, those who have taken on the role of mother, those who have lost children along the way, may they forever feel the warm embrace of knowing that a loving God has placed them where he has placed them to be a source of light, to be a source of strength, and to be a source of hope.
And may each of us know how blessed we are to have mothers, to have had a mother, and to know the joy that a mother has brought to our lives. In days to come and in days past, may we never forget the joy and the love of a true and giving mother. So on this day, as we celebrate, as we honor, and as we remember, happy Mother's Day to mothers everywhere. And may we always know that as we pray for the safety and love of our families, that each of us have been protected by the love of a loving mother. This message of prayer, this message of hope, and this message of joy comes to you from the President, CEO, staff, and management of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Happy Mother's Day to mothers everywhere. And may your day be filled with love, joy, peace, and may you know that you are loved as we honor and celebrate mothers today, tomorrow, and all the days to come. Again, happy Mother's Day to each and every one of the mothers who join our program each and every Sunday morning. May you continue to be blessed as you celebrate and as we celebrate you on this very special day. And as we continue this morning with our Mother's Day dedications, we dedicate our program this morning to all mothers. Our first selection this morning is dedicated in loving memory of Mrs. Lovey Lee Sanders, who departed her life May 6, 1977. Dedication requested by her daughter, Miss Easter Bay Sanders, her granddaughter, Mrs. Annette, and her husband, Mr. George Felton, and her great-granddaughter, Miss Kimberly Felton, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Bessie M. Lawson, who departed her life October 7, 1994. Dedication requested by Gail, Johnny, Janae Ingram of Albany, Georgia, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Marietta Paul, who departed her life May 9, 2010. Dedication requested by her family. Our Mother's Day dedications this morning in memory are also dedicated in loving memory of Mrs. Annie Claude Telfair Hollis, Mrs. Annie Claude Telfair, Mrs. Elisa Telfair Williams, Mother Carrie Levant, Mrs. Darquita Mumford, Ms. Gladys Addy, Mrs. Corrine Peterson, Mrs. Brenda Kellogg Hicks, Mrs. Maxine Levant Smith, Miss Shirley Jones, in loving memory of Miss Stella Jones, Miss Sheila Jones Harris, Ms. Jeanette Kears, Ms. Gussie Lee Davis, Ms. Mary Frances Davis, Mrs. Eddie Mae Davis, Miss Miranda Hamilton, Mother Lucille Shazer, Mother Carrie Lee Porter, Dr. Irma Lee Smith, Mother Eva Talbert, Mrs. Mary Ella Wilson, Mother Mary Butler, Mrs. Minnie Dixon, Mrs. Eva M. Leggett Hunt, Mother Grace Patrick, Mother Theron Jones, Deaconess Osie Outlaw, Mrs. Gladys P. Lewis, Ms. Elizabeth Harris, Mother Leela Mae Smith. This selection is dedicated in loving memory of Ms. Vernell McKenzie, Ms. Clara Redding, Mother Louise B. Burgess, Ms. Linda Gale Green, Ms. Leslie Lee Royal, Ms. Bonadine L. Clark, Ms. Billy Ann Hall, Mother Doretha Grant, Mother Mary Frances Maynard, Minister Clara Collier, Mother Betty J. Robertson, Mrs. Essie Gay, Ms. Thelma Johnson, Ms. Fanny Graham, Mother Willie Mae Crane, Mother Willie Mae Mobley, Ms. Stephanie Mobley, Mrs. Gussie Mae Rogers, Mother Ella Mae Paul, Ms. Gloria Paul, Mrs. Izora Dowdell, Mother Easter Byron, Mother Lucinda Ray, Mother Margie Wilson, Mother Mary Doster, Miss Santa Doster. This morning, the selection is also dedicated in memory of Mr. Willie James Davis, who would have celebrated his birthday on May 4th. Dedication requested by the family in loving memory of Mr. Rufus Davis, who would have celebrated his birthday on May 5th. Dedication requested by the family. In loving memory of Mr. Donald Brooks, who would have celebrated his birthday May 9th, dedication requested by the Brooks family. This morning, we would also like to take this opportunity as we continue with our Mother's Day dedications to wish a very special happy birthday to Deacon James Palmer Sr., who celebrated his birthday on Tuesday, May 6th. Dedication requested by the family. And again, we say happy birthday to Brother Judge Glenn, who celebrated his birthday on May 5th. Happy birthday to Miss Katrina Jones, who celebrated her birthday on Friday, May 9th. Dedication requested by the entire family. Happy birthday to my sister, Mrs. Phyllis Brooks Strickling, who celebrated her birthday on Friday, May 9th. Mother's Day dedications continue. We dedicate our program this morning to all mothers everywhere. Especially this morning, we're dedicating our program to Mother Willie Mae Leary, Mrs. Tanika Talbert, Dr. Frankie Harmon, Mrs. Nikki Johnson, Mother Calden Wallace, Miss Bridget Johnson, Miss Carol Green, Mother Vera Mae Rivers, Miss Esther Johnson, Mother Jessie Colson, Miss Joyce Paul, Minister Kathy Spears, Miss Leanne Simmons, Miss Faye Telfair, Miss Rose Rogers, Miss Kimberly Gordon, Miss Martha King, Miss Gwen Henderson, Sister Christine Hagerbrook, Minister Daisy Harris, Mother Norma Solomon, Sister Sylvia Hagerbrook, Miss Natasha Hagerbrook, Miss Shavetta Apley, Miss Geneva Curry, Mrs. Angela Dempsey, Mrs. Levada Fields. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Audra Hagerbrook, Miss Angie Solomon, Miss Patrina Hanna, Miss Rakisha Wheeler, Miss Barbara Hagerbrook. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Annie Johnson, Mrs. Ruby Hagerbrook, Miss Marquetta Oliver, Miss Beulah Harper, Miss Mary Hagerbrook, Miss Marshanda Holmes, Mrs. Elizabeth Griffin, Mrs. Mary Aplin, Mrs. Ruby Ross, Mrs. Vanessa Hagerbrook, Miss Deborah Hughes. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Annie Hardiman, Miss Cheryl Taylor, Miss Vanessa Brown, Mrs. Burnell Butts. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Kay Brown, Miss Dorothy Rose Jones, Miss Juanita Mumford, Miss Lola Mackey, Miss Lois Wilson. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Cynthia Jones, Mrs. Helen Lockett, Mrs. Valerie Levant, Mrs. Eddie Mae Gaston, Mrs. Angela Jones, Mrs. Stephanie Jones, Mrs. Rosalind Oliver, Miss Gail Chanel, Mrs. Judy Levant, Mrs. Ann Rouse, Miss Ruby Jones, Miss Kalisha Linder, Miss Cherie Shazer, Miss Deneen Ford. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Mary Rones, Missionary Cassandra Fisher. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Cherie Lewis, Miss Mary Frances Davis, Mother Willeen McGill, Miss Burl Patrick, Miss Denise Dennard, Miss Nebby Glenn Cross. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Tommy Glenn, Miss Rashida Fields, Miss Gwen Gaston, Miss Madeline Hamilton. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Asia Dawson, Miss Shanita Grace, Miss Kadasia Johnson, Miss Cynthia Lattimore, Miss Cynthia Smith, Miss Teresa West, Miss April Thompson, Miss Lakedra Johnson, Miss Monica Westbrook, Miss Sandra Johnson, Miss Diane Thomas, Mother Jessie Harmon. Happy Mother's Day to Mother Ethel Fullwood, Mrs. Crystal Faye Jones, Missionary Clemmy Jones, Mrs. Precious Spears Ashton, Mrs. Rosalind Porter. Happy Mother's Day to Dr. Maxine Dexter, Miss Shonda Jackson, Miss Marilyn Dean, Minister Pastor Rosa Sanford. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Willie Pearl Reed, Mother Jessie Harmon, Miss Beulah Morgan. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Dorothy Westbrook, Miss Florine Manning, Miss Charlie Mae Lemons, Mother Evelyn Lewis, Mother Naomi Stubbs, Mother Marie Porter, Mother Lucille G. Harris, Mrs. Valerie Robertson, Miss Cynthia Pollock, Miss Tracy Peterson. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Janie Porter, Mrs. Sonia Green, Miss Camisa Paul, Mrs. Jamisa Porter. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Barbara Wilson, and happy birthday to Mrs. Barbara Wilson, Minister Cassandra Porter, Mrs. Linda Gale Rollins, Mrs. Nellie Shivers. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Carrie Brooks, Mrs. Robin Smith Durham, Miss Ruth Rogers, Miss Carol Johnson, Miss Melissa Grant, Miss Glendoria Talbert, Mrs. Mary Wilson Kitchen. Happy Mother's Day to Mother Willie Mae Walker. Happy Mother's Day to Reverend Alice McKenzie, Miss Linda Wilson, Miss Grace Reese, Miss Frankie West Burnell. Happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, Minister Kathleen Owens, to my mother-in-law, Reverend Dorothy Reeves Jones. Our first selection this morning.
Everybody all over.
only with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Stuart Charles Ray Jr., age 75, of 2116 Doris Street, Cordial, Georgia, died Tuesday, May 6th at the Cordial Health and Rehabilitation Center in Cordial, Georgia. The funeral service for Stuart Charles Ray Jr. will be held Monday, May 12th at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Davis Chapel CME Church in Araby, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Arnell Wilburn, will officiate. The eulogy will be delivered by his beloved brother, Reverend Lorinda Ray, pastor of the Beautiful Zion Baptist Church. The burial will follow at the Little Rock Church Cemetery in Araby, Georgia. The public visitation will be held today, Sunday, May 11th, from 1 until 5 o'clock p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mother Gloria Mother Glory Rogers Mapp, age 88, of 902 Blackshear Road, Cordial, Georgia, died Friday, May 9th at the Crisp Regional Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cordial, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Glory Rogers Mapp will be held Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. graveside at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordial, Georgia. Mr. Carlos Bramond Hicks, age 44, of Woodward Apartments, Vienna, Georgia, died Thursday, May 8th at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital in Tallahassee, Florida. The funeral service for Mr. Carlos Bramond Hicks will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams Funeral Directors of Cordial and Vienna are in charge of these arrangements during this week. Our next and final selection this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Mrs. Fallon Latrice Graham of Warner Robins, Georgia. The family of retired City of Cordial Police Captain Mr. Sammy Lee Hill Sr. of Cordial, Georgia. The family of United States Air Force veteran Mr. Willie James Barrett Jr. of Cordial, Georgia. The family of the infant Susie Marie Cross of Cordial, Georgia. The family of Mr. Edward Charles Curry of Oakfield, Georgia. The family of Ms. Dora Jean Taylor of Cordial, Georgia. The family of United States Marine Corps veteran Mr. Rodney Andre Hillman of Ashburn, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Stuart Charles Ray Jr. of Cordial, Georgia. The family of Mother Glory Rogers Mapp of Cordial, Georgia. The family of Mr. Carlos Bramond Hicks of Vienna, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to all of our sick and shut-ins, to all of our patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, rehabilitation centers, and to all of each of you who join in each Sunday morning, to our dedicated ministers and their spouses and family members, and to men and women serving in the armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program each and every Sunday morning. Again, we say Happy Mother's Day to mothers everywhere, to all of you, and may today be a wonderfully blessed day as we celebrate mothers and all the love that they impart to each and every one of us. We're so grateful to have loving mothers, and we're thankful to mothers everywhere. Our program this morning is also dedicated in love and memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. And to each of you, we dedicate this morning to our president, CEO, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, and to his wife, Mrs. Clondra Wilkerson Parker. And we say Happy Mother's Day to her, to his son, John Wilkerson Parker, and to mothers again everywhere. Happy Mother's Day, and may the blessings of today be with you as you celebrate today. Our final selection this morning.
Morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you've enjoyed our program. Tune in again on next Sunday morning. In your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.